Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Saad Tabani and you're watching Pitch Talk on Inspire FM. In this show we will be talking about the latest cricket news. The first news which I will be discussing is that Shan Masood, Pakistan's Test captain, scored 100 on first class debut for the Leicestershire County cricket team. We'll get into that news. And then the next news is about Pakistan former fast bowler Usman Sharwari as he announced retirement from international cricket. We'll get into his retirement and his achievements in international cricket. And then the next news is a bit of an analysis on the Tri-Series final which took place between Afghanistan and Pakistan cricket team at Sharjah Cricket Stadium a few days ago. So we'll get a brief analysis on that, and then lastly we'll talk about a bit of the matches which have occurred in the Asia Cup, and then the big final, the big match, the mother and father of all games, Pakistan versus India. We'll get into that as well. So if you do have any questions, feel free to phone Inspire FM on their number and we'll get your questions answered in the next show, inshallah. So without further ado, I'll get into my first news, which is about Shan Masood, Pakistan's Test captain. He smashed an amazing 100 on his first class debut for Leicestershire County Cricket Club. His 100 was off 150 balls and it was his 30th first class 100. I mean, Shan Masood has been playing first class cricket since I think 2006. So he brings a wealth of experience to this Leicestershire County first class team, and I feel that his experience that he has in these conditions and the exposure that he's had in these conditions makes him more of a likely candidate to perform for Leicestershire County Cricket team. And he's a key player in terms of versatility, the modern day approach. He's got a different range of strokes. He takes the game on. He's very positive in his intent and style and approach of play, and his approach on the crease as well. So his debut for Leicestershire County Cricket Club in the first class format, in his first appearance for the club in red ball cricket, he scored the 100 of 150 balls, and then he was eventually dismissed for 111 runs, and he was chapped LBW by Oliver Price. But the good news for Shan is because he's a key player for Pakistan Test cricket, and Pakistan will be touring England in 2026 for a 3-match Test series, I think in June or July. So for that Test series, Shan would be a perfect candidate to open the batting or even bat at number 3. But the question remains, will Shan Masood stay as the captain of Pakistan Test team? That question still has a lot of doubts in it. That question is on the minds of many Pakistan cricket fans and many journalists, former cricketers. But we'll have to see. I think Pakistan's next Test series is in October against South Africa at home. So should be interesting to see, does Shan Masood make the cut or not. But if I talk a bit about his form and his place, I think Shan is a very good Test player. If you look at his stats in international cricket for Pakistan, he has not really done justice to the potential and ability he has as a cricketer. I think he has 500 or 600, but that clearly does not really speak volumes of the talent that he does possess as a batsman, especially as an opening batsman or even as a number 3. I think he's been mainly batting at number 3. And if I talk about Shan Masood, the best thing which I like about him is that his ability to score runs in foreign conditions, in centre conditions. I mean, he has 145 recently, a few months back, 5-6 months back in South Africa. That innings was amazing. Although Pakistan could not win the game, it was a good fight by the Pakistan Test captain. He also has 150 odd, I think, against England during COVID times back in 2020. So I think that's another good 100 that he has. And then if I talk about other 100 that he has 100 against Bangladesh, against Sri Lanka, and then I think against England at home as well, he also has 150. So Shan Masood has some good innings, but the main issue with Shan has been his consistency. Can Shan Masood actually change his game and be real consistent? At the age of 36, it's hard. But the best thing about Shan, which I've always noticed, which has always been one aspect said about him, is that he's one of the fittest players in the current Pakistan cricket team. So the good thing is that he's performing. He's got 100 for Leicestershire. He has so many runs. I mean, in first class cricket, he's been playing the county championship since 2022, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he brings that experience. He has such good knowledge of the conditions. So I really feel that for the Pakistan tour of England 2026, for that Test series, Shan would be a perfect player to bat at number 3. And could he be captain? Let's see. That's something. That's a chapter, and that's his captaincy. It hangs in the balance, actually. So we'll see what the Pakistan Cricket Board, the selectors, and Mohsin Naqvi decide. So my next news is about Usman Sharwari, Pakistan's former left-arm pacer, left-arm quick he's announced retirement from international cricket, where he featured in one test, 17 ODIs and 16 T20s for Pakistan from the years of 2013 to 2019. Shinwari made his international debut against Sri Lanka back in 2013 in Dubai in December, as he conceded 9 runs without picking up a wicket in only in one over where he bowled. And his time in international cricket was mostly affected because of back injuries and also at times because of a lack of form, mainly in T20 cricket. However, in ODIs he was a real force to reckon with, where he picked a 5-wicket haul in just his second ODI match against Sri Lanka back in 2017 in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. And then against the same opposition 2 years later, he picked another fifer where he took 6 wickets, I think, in 2 games. But sadly, that was his last ODI series that he played for Pakistan. He's a player who's been a victim to the politics and, issues of selection in Pakistan cricket. I also feel that Misbah Haq is largely to blame for Usman Shinwari's omissions from the Pakistan cricket team, because when Pakistan did play the last ODI series, Usman, as I mentioned, he took 6 wickets in 2 games. But the issue was that when Misbah was the coach, Misbah never really selected him again after that Sri Lanka ODI series, and Usman was young at that time as well. I mean, he retired at the age of 31, if I'm not wrong. So back in 2019, he would have been probably something like 26 or 27, probably, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's not a good decision for some selectors and even Misbah Haq that, where he was a coach at that time, where he never really supported Usman Shinwari when it came to giving him a consistent chance in the Pakistan team. I mean, it's crazy that he's only played 1 test for Pakistan, 17 ODIs, and I think if I'm not wrong, he had 34 wickets in 17 ODIs. Let's look at his stats in a bit of deeper knowledge. So, and then it would clearly show how much of injustice was that he faced as a player. So he played 17 ODIs for Pakistan where he took 34 wickets. He's had a brilliant bowling average of 18, an economy just shy of 5, just under 5, and a strike rate of 22. Best figures of 5 for 34. 3 4-wicket hauls and 2 5-wicket hauls. That shows how amazing he's been in ODIs. In T20, his record is not very great, and Test matches he only played 1 test. So, I mean, Usman Shinwari was such a brilliant bowler, such an amazing left-arm quick which Pakistan had, which he could have played longer for Pakistan. He's only 31 at the moment, so he could still have played 3-4 more years for Pakistan. But the Pakistan cricket selectors did not do justice with his talent potential. Even though he used to perform very well in domestic cricket, his action and his ability to swing the ball, his in-swing is into the right hand is a typical left-arm, bowler's lethal weapon. That's what Usman Shinwari really had. But I think, he faced a lot of injustice, and he was wrong done by many selectors and many coaches, and I feel that that's where Usman Shinwari probably was a bit disheartened. And also he had a less focus on cricket at times as well. So I feel that it's good that he's probably moved away from something that could have been disturbing him for a long time. But at the same time, he will go down as a wasted talent and someone who had the ability to achieve a lot for Pakistan. So if I talk about Usman Shinwari, he first caught the attention of the national selectors when he was 19 in 2013. And, the funny thing is when he crushed Misbah Haq's Surrey Northern Gas Pipelines Limited in the Department T20 Cup final, where Usman was seaming and swinging the ball both ways, Shinwari returned with figures of 5 for 9 in just 3.1 overs. And this led him to being fast-tracked into the T20 side, but he failed to replicate his domestic form in international cricket. He was last seen in action in Pakistan's National T20 Cup, where he turned out for Quetta region, but he failed to even pick up a wicket in 4 games. So Usman Shinwari, that was his news, and to be honest, he really will go down as a player who had a lot of talent and potential and showed a lot of promise as well early on in his international career. But he will go down as another player who was a victim to the politics and issues in Pakistan cricket, as I mentioned. So we do wish him the best of luck for his future endeavours, and we hope that he really, you know, has the best of luck in his future decisions that he makes. So the next news is about the Tri-Series final, and we'll get into the final match which took place between Pakistan and Afghanistan in Sharjah Cricket Stadium. So getting onto that match, that was a brilliant final, but it was one-sided to not to say the least. And this is where Pakistan won the toss and chose to bat first. And this was a decision where lots of Pakistan cricket fans were critical about. But at the same time, Salmani and Yaga kept the theme going that if you win the toss and bat first, you win the game. You know, that's how it's been in Sharjah Cricket Stadium in this Tri-Series between Pakistan, Afghanistan and UAE. So Pakistan won the toss, as I mentioned, and chose to bat first. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they made one change to their lineup where they brought Sufyan Makeen into the 11 in the place of Salman Mirza. And Pakistan, batting first, did not get off to the best of starts. Saad Tabani, who's had some good starts in this series with a few 20s and, getting 18, but a good strike rate. So impact, cameos at the start, but he failed again. He failed to trouble the scorers when he got a 3-ball duck in the final. So he couldn't really make any sort of impact. And then Saim Ayub, Pakistan has a lots of hope and lots of trust in Saim Ayub's potential and talent, but he failed again, scoring 17 runs off 19 balls. Fakhar Zaman scored 27 runs off 26 balls. Fakhar Zaman's form has been in and out. It's been okay. It's 50-50. He's been in decent form, but then at times he's got off to a good start, but then he's really failed to get the big score against Afghanistan especially. And Fakhar Zaman got out after scoring 27 runs off 26 balls, a strike rate of 103. So that means that Fakhar Zaman actually got LBW by Rashid Khan. So then Salman Yaga came and he actually played a slow innings of 24 runs, but then his last few runs he hit 2 sixes against Rashid Khan. So then that got his strike rate a bit higher, but again, 24 of 27 off of a strike rate of 88 is not very promising, but at the same time, considering the context of the game, it was actually useful runs. And then came Hassan Nawaz, who batted at number 5, and he scored 15 runs off 8 balls. So a very short cameo by him, hitting 1 6 and 1 4 at a strike rate of 187. Mohammad Haris scored 2 runs off 3 balls. Mohammad Nawaz scored 25 runs off 21 balls, and his innings and his performance in this match was very impactful and very, critical for Pakistan's success in this match. And his 25 runs off 21 balls was probably the most important innings. Off a 119 strike rate, it was 2 sixes. So his innings was very good. And then Fahim Ashraf, who's been the late order finisher for Pakistan, whom Pakistan have been relying to finish the game for them, scored 15 runs off 8 balls with the help of 2 fours and 1 6, and he had a good strike rate of 187. So then with that, if I talk about Fahim and Hassan Nawaz, they both got 15 off 8, so combined that's 30 of 16. Those are some impact runs. Then if you talk about 25 21 on a tough pitch by Mohammad Nawaz, actually got Pakistan to a defendable score, which they did defend in the end. But after the first innings, lots of Pakistan cricket fans were not sure if Pakistan could defend this, because Afghanistan had some good openers who were in very good form. But then when Afghanistan came to bat in their first over, they lost Gurbaz, and he was, dismissed by Shaheen Afridi, caught by Sahibzada Farhan for 5 runs of 4 balls. And then Sadiqullah Atal, I think in the 3rd over, if I'm not wrong, he was dismissed. 3rd or 4th over, I think he was. He was dismissed by he was dismissed by Abrar Ahmed. Sadiqullah Atal got out for 13 runs of 15 balls. And then came the match winner, the chief, Mohammad Nawaz. He came, I think in 5th over, and he caused destruction and dominance, and he really simply destroyed Afghanistan's batting lineup, taking 4 wickets in the space of 6 balls. And Mohammad Nawaz in his first over in the last 2 balls took 2 wickets, and then in the next over took a wicket on the first ball, and he claimed a hat-trick. So the first Pakistan spinner to take a hat-trick in T20 cricket. And it was a brilliant spell by Mohammad Nawaz, one-sided, and after a very long time it seemed like a Pakistan bowler who's actually taking the game one-sided, with especially a spinner. And where if I look at Mohammad Nawaz's figures, as I mentioned, 4 wickets in 6 balls, hat-trick as well. And you know, he took 5 wickets, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 19 runs, 5 wickets, an economy of 4.8. Then if I talk about the likes of Ibrahim Ahmed, 4 overs, he gave 17 runs, he took 2 wickets, and he bowled an economy of 4.2. If I talk about Shaheen Shah Afridi, he bowled only 2 overs, but he gave 7 runs, so decent economy by him, and he managed to get 1 wicket. Then Sufyan Makeem, who returned into the Pakistan side in the place of Salman Mirza, bowled 2.5 overs, gave 9 runs, 2 wickets, and at an economy of 3.2. And if I talk about Afghanistan's batting, Rashid Khan was the only one in the lower order who hit a few shots, a few sixes. But then he held out to Salman Ali Agha, and with that Mohammad Nawaz actually got his 5th wicket. And with that match, Pakistan won the Tri-Series final with Mohammad Nawaz being the man of the final. What a player he's been for Pakistan since his return into the Pakistan team. I mean, if I talk about his stats for the Pakistan team, and he's been a very critical and very key performer for Pakistan in T20 cricket since his return into the side. I mean, talking about Mohammad Nawaz, he's been the highest wicket taker of Pakistan in T20 cricket this year, where he's played 11 matches, bowled 33.4 overs, and claimed 20 scalps at a bowling average of 10.9. So it speaks volumes of how amazing Mohammad Nawaz has been with, with the ball of Pakistan. He's been very critical. He's performed when it matters the most for Pakistan. You know, if I talk about his performances, let's get into his performances with the bat as well. Let's see what he's done with the bat also. So if I talk about his batting, he's played 11 matches where he had 10 innings, 161 runs. Considering the batting number that he has, number 7, he plays at times number 6. He has a decent batting average of 17.8, just below 18. So if I was to look at his strike rate, let's actually look at his strike rate. So I think he's really been critical of Pakistan, even in the batting department as well. So his strike rate has actually been very good as well. It's okay, 130 is a strike rate, so not bad. Probably could be a bit better, but not bad. So Mohammad Nawaz has been very critical, and then it takes me back to a famous line that Babar Azam said, that Nawaz, you are the match winner. And this is something that Babar Azam said 3 years ago. And over the last few months, the left-arm spinner has begun to fit that categorization. And when he was thrown the ball in the 5th over, he was he was very fortunate with that LBW shout that he got. And he was really lucky in some of his dismissals. But he managed to really be impactful with the ball for Pakistan. And he actually squeezed out the umpire under distress because of how strong Nawaz was appealing. So Nawaz also managed a hat-trick, as I mentioned, being the first Pakistani spinner to take a hat-trick in T20s. So with that, Pakistan won the final. So let's talk about the Pakistan vs India game. Also, Pakistan will be playing tomorrow against Oman. But we want to talk about the match between Pakistan vs India, the Asia Cup. On Sunday, the big match between Pakistan and India in Dubai. So I think both sides will have similar combinations. Both sides will rely on spin, with India having the likes of Akshar Patel, Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Yadav, and then Pakistan having Sufyan Makeem, Ibrahim Ahmed and Mohammad Nawaz. So I feel personally, in my opinion, that Pakistan should not play 3 spinners against India. I feel that move would backfire. And Pakistan have always taken wickets with their fast bowling against India. The fast bowling has always been the dominant factor against India in recent times, especially over history. If you were to look about the likes of Wasim Akram, Muhammad Ahmed, Junaid Khan, Shaheen Afridi, at times Wahab Riaz as well, Hassan Ali. So I feel that Pakistan could include one or two fast bowlers, probably one more fast bowler in their team. That can be probably Wasim Jr., Hassan Ali or Haris Roth. And if I look at the conditions, I feel that if you're going to win the toss, you're better off bowling first and then chasing the score. In these conditions, it's a similar time to where the 2021 World T20 was, although that was in October, this is in September. So that's T20 World Cup had a trend that if you win the toss, you win the match by bowling first and, restricting the team to a low score, then, chasing the score. So I feel that if I look at Pakistan's playing 11, in my personal opinion, someone like Haris Roth, Wasim Jr., even Hassan Ali can be in the 11 instead of Sufyan Makeem. If I look at the X factors for each team, I feel for India, if I'm looking at Surya Kumar Yadav, if I talk about Abhishek Sharma, he's been a very good player for India in T20 cricket. Hardik Pandya is such an amazing T20 all-rounder, especially his performances against Pakistan. He always finds a way to perform against Pakistan. He's a big match player. He has that aggression. He has that fire, which is needed in international cricket. And I feel that he's a very good player. And Bumrah, Jasprit Bumrah, who can forget him? One of the best bowlers in cricket at the moment. He's very critical. If he has a good day, India will really do good in that match. And then from Pakistan's side, I feel that Fakhar Zaman is always an impact player. It's a different factor where he hasn't really performed against India in recent times, and he hasn't been in the best form, but he can really be a dangerous player on his day. Mohammad Nawaz has been very good form winning matches Pakistan in the Tri-Series as well. And who can forget the last time I think these two sides versed each other in Dubai. Mohammad Nawaz was the man of the match, scoring 42 runs off 21 balls, taking I think 1 wicket as well and taking 4 catches as well, or even a run out as well. So Nawaz is a three-dimensional player. Salman Aliaga in one of his press conferences described Mohammad Nawaz as he's playing with a 12th man. That's how critical he is, because when Nawaz is on song with the ball, with the bat in the field, he brings so much onto display on the table of Pakistan, and he increases Pakistan's chances of actually winning the game because of the difference he makes with the ball here with his spin bowling, especially opening the bowling. His batting, he can be a flexible batsman as well. Ideally, he would be very good at number 4. So it's interesting to see how he performs. Saim Ayub is another young star. Will he perform against India? It will be his first time facing off Bumrah, so that would be an interesting battle to see. And then you have other players. Shaheen Shah Afridi, you can forget him. He is always done decent against India, but I feel against India he should not always go for those in-swinging Yorkers. It's too predictable now. I think he's going to have to be a bit deceptive and a bit, he's going to have to bring a bit of variation into his bowling. Have the slow balls and probably try something new against India, which they won't expect coming. And if I talk about the weather is very hot there. I think it's over 30 degrees. So that's another thing, and there'll probably be I think there should be dew actually in the second innings. So as I mentioned, the team who win the toss bowls first, and then if they chase, because there's dew, it would be hard for the bowlers in the second innings to defend the score. And as I mentioned, they have similar combinations as both teams. We saw in yesterday's match where India played only 2 fast bowlers. And recently Pakistan, even in the final of the Tri-Series between Pakistan and Afghanistan, in the finals, Pakistan have been playing 2 fast bowlers as well in the shape of Shaheen Afridi and Fahim Ashraf. So I feel that Pakistan should really take that big decision of taking Sufyan out and either picking Wasim Jr. or Haris Roth, maybe even Hassan Ali. But the biggest problem with picking Wasim Jr. is he hasn't really had much game exposure, much game time. So it'll probably be one of Haris Roth or Hassan Ali. It probably will be Haris Roth. But it's 50-50 with him. How will he perform against India? If I'm being honest, I'm not sure about who's going to win this game. And this game is actually a bit different because we don't have those big stars, and there's lots of debates about will the game get sold out without Virat Kohli being there, without Rohit Sharma being there, without Babar Azam being there. So that's a question, and that is a question which we will see being answered in the ground on Sunday. So if I talk about who will win, I think India are a very good team, but at the same time I'm not sure who can win, but because both teams are very good, and this is a younger India team, and at the same time Pakistan also have a younger team. So both sides have impact players, both sides have match winners. It depends who performs on the day. If I ask about Pakistan, I think Pakistan should bowl first, restrict India to 150, 160, and then look to chase that down. So this wraps up today's show, inshallah. If you do have any questions, feel free to phone Inspire FM, and we will get those questions answered in the next show, inshallah. And hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll hopefully get a guest onto the show, inshallah. So with that, I'll see you next week for the next show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Find Luton Prayer and Masjid Jamaat times at inspirefm.org.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, I'm Saad Tabani and you're watching Pitch Talk on Inspire FM. In this show, we'll be talking about the latest cricket news, so if you do have any questions, feel free to phone Inspire FM on their number and we'll get those questions answered in the next show, inshallah. So I'll go give a brief overview about the topics. The first news which I'll be discussing is the Pakistan vs UAE match. We'll get into a brief analysis about that. Then the second news which I'll be discussing is the match which took place between England and Ireland. We'll get into that as well, what happened there, so we'll get into that. And then the third news is that England cricket team, they created history in T20 cricket, and they scored a very high score, in one of the highest scores in T20 cricket history. So we'll get into that. And then the next news about the PCB chief suspends Director International Usman Wala. So as I mentioned, I'll mention to all the viewers watching again, if you do have any questions, feel free to phone Inspire FM and then we'll get those questions answered in the next show, inshallah. So without further ado, I'll get into the news. So the first news is about the Pakistan vs UAE match. Before this match, there was a lot of controversy and doubts of whether this match would take place or not. Because there was an issue with the Indian players which took place after the match between Pakistan vs India on Sunday. So this was where the opposition did not shake hands with the Pakistani players. They shut their dressing room doors, and this was a clear indication of lack of sportsmanship and no spirit of the game. So by India, and then there were questionable decisions by the match referee Andy Bycroft as well, as he told Salman Ali Agha, the Pakistan cricket team captain, 30 seconds before the toss, not to shake hands with the India's captain Surya Kumar Yadav. And over this, there was a whole debate, and there was a meeting where Pakistan even considered boycotting the whole tournament, in frustration, in anger. So, but then this match had a delay, and this also got a meeting involved between Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Mohsin Naqvi and the former chairmans Najm Sethi and Ramiz Raja. So then, if I was talk about the match, there was a match delay as well. The match was delayed for more than 1 hour. So it's something which is not seen in UAE or Dubai, where you see the match getting delayed. Because whenever a match is delayed, it's mostly because of the weather, rain. But in UAE, I don't think it ever rains. It's very rare. So if I were to get into the analysis of the match here, so Pakistan coming into this match would probably be feeling a bit nervous, under pressure, mentally, mentally there was a bit of doubts in them because they weren't even sure if they were going to take participation in this match or not, or whether this match would take place. There was also the chance that Pakistan cricket team would have to pack their bags and they would probably have gone back home. But thankfully, that we saw this match take place. And then so if I was to go into the analysis of the first match, of the match between Pakistan and UAE, Pakistan batted first after losing the toss, and they made two changes, with Haris Rauf replacing Sufyan Makeem and Khushdi Shah replacing Ranafi Mashraf. And with that, Pakistan batted first and scored 146, with Prasaman scoring 50 runs of 36 balls, Salman Ali Agha scoring a slow innings of 20 runs of 27 balls. He's not been at his best in the last few matches in terms of strike rate, in terms of scoring actual runs and creating an impact for Pakistan and leading from the front with the bat as a captain. So then if I was to talk about the likes of Mohammad Haris, he scored 18 runs of 14 balls, and then Shaheen Shafili again saved Pakistan from humiliation after scoring 29 runs of 14 balls as striker at 207. So Shaheen Shah Afridi over the last 2 matches has been very good with the bat. And if I was to talk about Sam Ayub, he's been, his performance has been shocking with the bat, as he's had 4 ducks in the last 5 matches with the bat. So he's failed to really create some sort of impact, which is what we expect from Sam Ayub, but he's failed to really live up to his talent and ability which he has, and the potential which he has as a player. So Sam Ayub, it's actually funny really, because Shaheen Shah Afridi, whose main job is to perform in the ball, he's mainly performing with the bat, whereas Sam Ayub, his main job is to perform with the bat, whereas he is actually performing with the ball. I think he has 6 wickets in this tournament so far in 3 matches. So it was brilliant bowling by Sam Ayub, but however the batting is a serious concern. But if you were to ask my opinion, I don't think that he will get dropped. The biggest reason is because of his bowling. His bowling has been very effective, even in the match against India. Although he gave runs, and I think it was at an economy of 9, his bowling was actually decent, taking 3 wickets, I think, is what he took against India, even getting the likes of Shubman Gill out in the first over with a good ball. So if I were to go deeper into Pakistan's bank, Saad Farhan failed to really live up to his expectations which fans require from him, and which is why he's been selected to open the batting and really create some impact and flair. Score some cameos actually with a high strike rate. But however, in this match he failed to really impress. Even in the last match, although he scored 44, it was a really highly impressive. So if I was to talk about his performances in this match, he scored 5 runs of 12 balls, and his strike rate was obviously very shocking, 41. So then Sam Ayub, as I mentioned, scored 0 runs. He really failed to trouble the scorers. Fakhar Zaman scoring 50 runs of 36 balls, and a striker at 138 with 2 fours and 3 sixes. Salman Ali Agha, the Pakistan captain, scoring 20 runs of 27 balls. It was not a very good innings from him at all. He failed to really create that impact and that difference which we require from him, as he is the captain and he's batting at a crucial position, which is number 4. So, and the mid order has been a very important position in T20 cricket for Pakistan, as well as any other team. It's the position where games are finished and where you have to really create an aggressive sort of style of play, the way you play. So I think Salman Ali Agha has really not lived up to the expectation in the first few matches so far. I think in the first 2 matches he scored a duck, and then in this match he scored a slow 20. So it's something for him to look at. Hassan Nawaz failed again, but there's a question of whether he is batting in his right position or not. I think in the last match or the match before he batted at number 7. This match he comes to bat at number 5, although he actually has some good stats at number 4. I think he has a decent average of 40, if I'm not wrong, with a good enough strike rate. So should Hassan Nawaz bat at 4? That's the question. In my opinion, I really personally believe that he should bat at 4, because he does have the talent to attack the spinners, but we've also seen against good spinners like Afghanistan spinners or Indian spinners, he's really failed to create that impact. He's really failed to score runs against them, or really be even proactive against them. He's not really been at that level where Pakistan expect him to be, and where the fans expect him to be as well. So then Khushri Shah came into the side today. He failed to really create any sort of difference, scoring 4 runs of 6 balls. Mohammad Haris, the wicketkeeper batsman, as I mentioned, he failed against to really create some sort of impact, scoring 18 runs of 14 balls. Mohammad Nawaz scoring 4 runs of 5 balls. Shaheen Shah Afridi saving Pakistan again, scoring 29 runs of 14 balls at a good strike rate of 207. So with that, Pakistan scored 146. It looked like a decent score. It looked like a score which Pakistan were very capable of defending, because Pakistan have actually defended a lot of scores in UAE, even against teams like Australia and New Zealand. So Pakistan have that, reputation of defending scores in UAE. And likewise, they did this in this match as well against UAE. They defended 146 and bowling UAE out for 105 in 17.4 overs, with the likes of Shaheen Shah Afridi having figures of 3 overs, 16 runs, 2 wickets at an economy of 5.3. Mohammad Nawaz did not have the best of days, bowling 3 overs, 27 runs. He gave at an economy of 9. Haris Rauf bowled okay, but he gave runs in his first 3 overs. 2.4 overs, 19 runs. and he was able to pick up 2 wickets. And then Abrar Ahmed bowling 4 overs. He's been very good, Abrar Ahmed, in the last few matches, with his economy and with his ability to create pressure in the middle overs. Even when he's chosen to open the bowling as well, he's been decent because of his his ability and his variation. I think his change of pace is the key to his success. And he's bowled 4 overs where he gave 13 runs, and he took 2 wickets at an economy of 3.2. Whereas Saim Ayub has also bowled again superbly, 4 overs, 18 runs, 1 wicket and an economy of 4.5. Salman Ali Agha bowled, I think, the last few overs, one of the last few overs, 1 over, 9 runs he gave. It was not very good, but he got a wicket, managed to get a wicket, so he made some sort of little contribution as a captain. But, we expect more from Salman Ali Agha, and we expect him to lead the way for Pakistan if Pakistan really want to do very good in this Asia Cup and really prove a point. Salman's performances as a captain is critical to Pakistan's future performances in this tournament. So if I was to also talk about the Pakistan vs India game, we did not do an analysis of that. If I'm not wrong, I don't think we did an analysis on that. Pakistan batted first and scored 127 after winning the toss. Pakistan chose to bat first. First of all, this was not a very good decision by Pakistan, and clearly backfired because Pakistan, yes, over the last few months they've done very well batting first, but they should have really looked at the reputation that UAE has, and if you win the toss, you should bowl first, because the record and stats say that if you bowl first, you have a bigger chance of winning the game. So Pakistan batting first, going 127. It was shocking batting display by Pakistan. Saad Tabani going 40 runs of 44 balls, a slow innings. He showed some signs of aggression, but not that much signs. Mostly, he was just trying to hit, but he failed to, and really wasn't really taking any singles. His strike rate was 90, but even though he hit 3 sixes and I think 1 or 2 sixes against Jasprit Bumrah, which is amazing to see, but we expect better from Saad Tabani, especially in the power play. Saim Ayub, as I mentioned, in the last 5 matches, he scored 4 ducks, and he was no different against India, taking a first ball duck, edging it to Bumrah, bowled by Hardik Pandya. Mohammad Haris coming at number 3, no game awareness, no real signs of actually getting any runs. He scored 3 runs of 5 balls, but he never showed any signs of him actually, getting that flow or getting that momentum which he needed in batting. And Mohammad Haris failed again to really score, and showed his lack of game awareness and lack of his ability to not be able to read the situation of the game. And Fakhar Zaman, we had high hopes from him because he can be a really dangerous player, especially against India. And batting at number 4, he scored 17 runs of 15 balls, which with the help of 3 fours at a strike of 113. Salman Ali Agha, the Pakistan captain, played a horrible knock of 3 runs of 12 balls at a strike of 25. Hassan Nawaz again failed 5 runs of 7 balls. Mohammad Nawaz had a first ball duck. He was clueless against Kuldeep Yadav, and he got a first ball duck. Fahim Ashraf, who's in the side for his low order hitting, he really troubled, really failed to score against the spinners, and he scored 11 runs of 14 balls. But then came Shaheen Shah Afridi. That name Afridi is very famous, especially against India. We've seen Shahid Afridi score lots of good knocks against India. Shaheen also played explosive knock of 33 runs of 16 balls, not out a striker of 206 with the help of 4 sixes. So Shaheen was very good with the bat, and his runs, along with Sufyan Khami of 10 runs of 6 balls, managed to get Pakistan to 127. It didn't even look like they were going to get that. It looked like they were going to get bowled out to a 90 or even possibly 70 or 60 all out. But some resistance from the low order got Pakistan to a decent enough score. But I won't say it was a defendable score. I think on this pitch, 180 was a score which Pakistan would have been able to possibly cause issues for India with. And then India came to bat and finished the game in 15.5 overs, with Abhishek Sharma being explosive, absolutely berserk in the power play, scoring 31 runs of 13 balls with the help of 4 fours and 2 sixes at a strike rate of 238. He helped India chase the total down with scoring explosive impact knock. And then if I talk about the likes of Shubman Gill, scoring 10 runs of 7 balls with the help of 2 fours, 142 strike rate. Surya Kumar Yadav scoring 47 runs of 37, not out 5 fours and 1 6. Tilak Verma scoring 31 of 31. It was an okay innings. If you were to look at the situation of the game, they need someone to go deep and take this game deep, and considering that 2 wickets were lost in the power play, if I'm not mistaken. And then Shivam Dubey scoring 10 runs of 7 balls, helping India finish the game with a 6. And with that, India successfully chased the total of 127 runs down, as India managed to score 131 for the last 3 wickets in 15.5 overs. They managed to chase the total down. With the bowling department, Pakistan were not really impressive. I would say Sam Ayub was the only one who took wickets, 3 wickets, 35 runs he gave in 4 overs, and an economy of 8.8. And then Ibrahim had bowled very well, 16 runs he gave, 4 overs, 4 wickets. 4 was his economy, he had no wickets. So if I was to talk about my next news, second news about England versus Ireland. England won the toss and chose to bowl, with Ireland scoring a very good total of 196 with 34 runs of 22 balls by Paul Sterling. Harry Tector, the young sensation from Ireland, scoring 61 runs of 36 balls. 55 runs of 36 balls came from Lorcan Tucker. And then England chased it down as if it was a piece of cake with Phil Salt. What amazing form Phil Salt is in. He's one of the best explosive, dangerous batsmen in T20 cricket, scoring a scintillating 89 runs of 46 balls, continuing his brilliant form from where he left off from the series against South Africa. And Jos Buttler also scored 28 runs of 10 balls and a strike rate of 280, as well as Sam Curran chipping in with a cameo of 27 runs of 15 balls, and this score was chased in 17.4 overs. So with that, England successfully again proving their dominance in T20 cricket. And then it does take me to my next news, which is about England versus South Africa. And South Africa won the toss and chose to bowl. With England batting first, they scored a mammoth total, a big total of 300 in T20 cricket. I think they're the second team probably in T20 cricket history internationally to score 300. I think India were the first team. I think they scored against the same opposition, if I'm not mistaken. So England scored 300. It was the first time they scored 300 in T20 cricket, and they created history, as I mentioned, for the record books, with Phil Salt causing absolute carnage for the South African bowlers, with a 60-ball 141 not out, with a strike rate of 235, with the help of 8 sixes and 15 fours. Jos Buttler again being dangerous, as he always is in T20 cricket, scoring 83 runs of 30 balls. And Harry Brook chipping in with an impact 41 runs of 21 balls as captain. And then the vice-captain Jason Beckles also scored a cameo of 26 runs of 14 balls. If I was to look at South Africa's bowling, they failed to live up to the mark. They didn't really perform the way they were supposed to perform. When it came to the bowling, there were figures of 4 overs and 60 runs by Marco Jansen. Rabada gave 17 runs in 4 overs, and he bowled 4 no balls, I think, and 2 wides. It was the worst ever figures for Rabada in T20 cricket history. And this is not what we expect from a dangerous, cunning bowler of Rabada's class and his reputation. I mean, he is one of the best bowlers in the world. If we were to look at his figures in all formats, Rabada getting smacked for 70 runs in 4 overs. It clearly speaks volumes of how amazing England's batting has been, and what a terrific display of power hitting and aggressive shots they were able to show in their innings, where they managed to score 300. And Rabada was clearly not as lethal as his reputation is set out to be. And Williams gave 62 runs in 3 overs. Bowling with 4 overs, he gave 52 runs and he took 2 wickets. So when it came to South Africa's batting, if I was to really look at South Africa's display of batting, I think they were able to score 150, if I'm not wrong, but there was no chance of them actually chasing this target, because the biggest reason is because once a team gets such a big total, and especially 300 in T20 cricket is unheard of. Like, it's not your usual T20 score. So it's something which gets the opposition going under pressure, and it gets them really pumping. And then South Africa, they scored 158 and they got all out, with England winning by 146 runs. Markram was the only one who really showed some signs of aggression, with 41 runs of 20 balls with the help of 2 fours and 4 sixes at a strike rate of 205. Even Ryan Rickerton scored 20 runs of 10 balls, as he showed some sign of aggression, with a strike rate of 200. And then if I talk about Tristan Stubbs, he scored 23 runs of 25 balls. And Donovan Ferreira scored 23 runs of 11 balls at a strike rate of 209. And Fortune scored 32 runs of 16. It was a late order cameo, but this was clearly not enough for England's mammoth total, big total, aggressive style of batting. This is not much England's way of playing, and South Africa never really looked like they were actually going to win because one batsman or even two batsmen are not enough for South Africa to chase the total down. So South Africa got out all out for 158 runs, with England winning by 146. And with if I were to look at England's bowling, Jofra Archer bowling 3 overs, giving 25 runs, taking 3 wickets, and he was a bit expensive slightly, bowling at an economy of 8.3. Sam Curran bowled 2 overs, he gave 11 runs with 2 wickets, 5.5 was his economy. Liam Dawson 3.1 over, 34 runs, he gave 2 wickets with an economy of 10.7. Adil Rashid 4 overs, 48 runs, he gave 1 wicket, economy of 12. Will Jacks 1 over, gave 2 runs, economy of 2. And the man of the match for England was Phil Salt. What a knock Phil Salt played. I think the best knock in T20 cricket history internationally. I mean, he's always been a very explosive player for in T20 cricket, and even in franchise cricket. I've seen him play for in the PSL for Islamabad United, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He used to be very aggressive in his style of play. He's got all the shots. He'll take the bowlers on. It doesn't matter what bowler he is. He'll really take them on, and he really shows them. He's got a different range of strokes, and he really does target the power play game. So as much runs as he can, because that's the key to his success, and he's been no difference in the last 3 matches for England in T20 cricket. So I think England are really doing very well in T20 cricket. So if I was to talk about the next news, is about Pakistan's Director International Usman Wala, as he's been suspended. The Pakistan Cricket Board Chairman Mohsin Naqvi has suspended Director International Usman Wala over the recent handshake controversy, as he cited failure to manage the situation during the high voltage clash between Pakistan and India in Dubai on Sunday. At the same time, PCB had written to the International Cricket Council and the Marylebone Cricket Club demanding the removal of the match referee Andy Bancroft from the ongoing tournament, but the board has warned it could even reconsider Pakistan's participation in the Asia Cup if he is not replaced. But according to support sources, PCB accused Bancroft of neglecting the spirit of the game during Sunday's match. The board said it had repeatedly stressed the importance of upholding the spirit, but the referee failed in his duty. The letter also said that Pycroft violated the ICC Code of Conduct and acted against MCC laws, calling his conduct a serious breach. The controversy began when India players refused to exchange handshakes with their Pakistani counterparts after the match. Earlier, both captains also gave the traditional handshake at the toss, and the Pakistan head coach Mike Hesson described this issue as against the spirit of the game, something going against the spirit of the game. And then tensions built further between the two captains, with India's captain Surya Kumar Yadav dedicating the victory to the armed forces, and this was a political statement by him. And I believe that you shouldn't mix politics with sports, because they're both different things. And sports should be a form of entertainment and something which brings people together, and something which keeps people happy as well. In response, Pakistan team manager Naveed Akram Cheema lodged a formal protest terming India's action a violation of sportsmanship. He revealed that the match referee had instructed captain not to shake hands at the toss, but no such guidance was given after the game. As a mock of protest, Pakistani skipper Salman Yaga did not go to the post-press match ceremony, and the Mike Hesson backed the move by saying what the Indian team did was inappropriate and was not what was needed at that time. So the next news, the final news, is about Kane Williamson, as he confirmed his availability with the T20 World Cup next year. Kane Williamson had confirmed his availability for the T20 World Cup as part of a group of New Zealand players signed up for casual contracts. But the Black Caps batting great will miss next month's T20 series against Australia. Finn Allen, Devon Conway, Lockie Ferguson and Tim Seifert also agreed to have deals for the 2025 to 2026 season, and this locked them in for the global showpiece in India and Sri Lanka starting in early February. However, the New Zealand Cricket Board said on Monday that these 3 players would be considered for the Sri Lanka T20 World Cup, which take place in early February. So New Zealand's casual contract system enables players to take part in different T20 leagues around the globe, so as long as they commit to representing the nation in some series and tournaments, all of the casually contracted players will be available for the home T20 series against Australia. England and the West Indies expect Williamson, who will sit out of the Australian portion, of the series, which will start on October the 1st at Mount Maunganui. The New Zealand Cricket Board boss Scott said that with such an important event on the horizon, we wanted to ensure our best T20 players were ready and available to push for inclusion. So if I was to look at this, in my opinion, I feel that Kane Williamson, his situation is similar to Babar Azam and Joe Root. I mean, they're all similar type of players. You even look at the likes of Virat Kohli. He retired from T20 cricket, although his retirement was nothing less than a fairy tale, with India winning the T20 World Cup last year. But Kane Williamson, I think he's past his prime in T20 cricket. He's played a lot of T20 cricket, but he's really failed to perform in terms of striker and in terms of being aggressive and having different range of strokes, taking the game away from the opposition, which are the modern demands of T20 cricket. I don't think Kane Williamson lives up to that expectation. So it's something that the cricket board, New Zealand Cricket Board, need to sit down and look at. Yes, one thing that he does bring is that he has performed in T20 cricket in the past. He's played different leagues around the world, especially the IPL. He's a good player of spin and he has lots of experience. So I think these are factors which are under consideration for the New Zealand Cricket Board if they were to select Kane Williamson for the T20 World Cup, which will take place in February and March time in Sri Lanka. So I feel that Kane Williamson can be an experienced player, but does he really fit the demands of modern day cricket? That question has there's serious doubts and answers which could be given to that question. So this is today's show. To wrap up today's show, if you do have any questions, feel free to phone Inspire FM. We'll get those questions answered for you in the next show, inshallah. And hopefully in the next show, in the upcoming show, we'll have a guest with us, inshallah. And we'll discuss different topics related to cricket. So I will see you next week for another show. With that, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.